Chapter 71 Our Beauty Tonight Is. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 71, Our Beauty Tonight Is. Walking into the small door, there is a narrow path outside the shed, which is used by the circus actors to pass. Because it is in the backstage, this path is full of debris. Looking up, you can also see the steel frame structure of the shed above. Chen just slipped in and took a few steps. He heard the sound of conversation coming from the corner of the path a few meters away in front of him. It was obvious that someone was walking towards this side. He was about to bump into him. He quickly jumped up, grabbed the steel frame bars of the shed, and hoisted his whole body. Then, with a few swipes, his figure jumped between the steel bars and hid behind a forest of steel bars. This operation shocked the audience. Fuck, you can actually do this. How many skills do you have hidden? Tell me. To be honest, more flexible than a monkey, it's like walking on flat ground. If Chao Ji had this skill, he would have climbed up to the beams long ago, and would he still need to recite poems? Chen, you still say you don't know martial arts. Well, although, this is obviously more like acrobatics, and it is not very helpful for actual combat. I don't care, Chen is awesome. If I had this skill, I wouldn't have to jump out of the window next time I went to the widow's house next door, I would just go to the roof. In the small corridor of the shed, just after Chen hid, several actresses in costumes and two clowns came out from the corner where he was originally staying. These people were chatting, and they didn't notice that there was a big man hanging above their heads. Hey, tell me, where is the beauty brought by the new boss prepared? One of the clowns asked. To be honest, this is the first time I have seen such a beautiful person in my life. In the circus, the relationship between people is relatively open. The actresses were not shy either, they just laughed and said. Where else could it be? It must be the lounge. I think you guys like her. They pointed in the direction of the lounge and chirped and encouraged. I heard that she is a beauty brought by the new boss to show off. If you want to talk to her, you better do it as soon as possible. Yes, that kind of girl must have no shortage of suitors around her. However, these words did not work for the clowns. How dare I? Another clown said embarrassedly, the casting of clowns has always been very skillful. The funny characters are all short and not very good looking, of course, masters like Lin Biejua are exceptions. We are just asking casually. It is more practical to think about your own job than to consider the beauty. Alas, not many people watch the circus now. They all watch short video live broadcasts. Yeah, especially after the live broadcast of The Pursuit of the Murderer began, the customer flow is simply miserable. Another clown echoed. Even if there is such a beautiful woman as a gimmick, there will probably not be many customers. And to be honest, our performance is too old-fashioned and there is no novelty at all. Everyone can guess what will happen next, so of course they think it is boring. At this point, everyone was silent for a while. The circus industry is in a downturn, which is obvious to all, otherwise their previous boss would not have run away, and this new boss obviously does not pay much attention to the basic skills and techniques of the actors, but takes the route of appearance. Find a vase beauty as a gimmick. On the contrary, they put the real talents in a secondary position. Some actresses with good looks in the troupe have planned to change their careers and go to the short video platform Shake Music. These people chatted and walked away quickly. After their figures disappeared at the next corner, Chen jumped down from the steel frame quietly. That beauty. I guess it's her. Chen looked at the girl on the poster cover in his hand. Thinking of this, he paused, then he slid towards the direction pointed by the actresses, that is, the lounge, Chasing the Murderer live broadcast, in the backstage studio. Director Chen, the application from above has been approved, and the cognitive filter is allowed to be expanded. A staff member reported to Chen chiming in front of the big screen. The current cognitive filter has been adjusted to a radius of 100 square kilometers with Chen as the center. Anyone in this range will not receive Chen's news, which is equivalent to blocking the live broadcast of the murderer to the maximum extent. They can't get information about the live broadcast of the murderer from others. All external information must be filtered through the information filter. Now, the upgraded information filter has been turned on. Hearing this, Chen nodded slightly. In the previous 2 seasons, the murderer was always caught on the same day, so their program team never encountered any problems with information control. However, the development of Su Chen's plot this time has already exceeded their expectations, and the fairness of the program has also been questioned by many people. Every minute, the program team's backstage mailbox will receive a lot of opinions. For this reason, the official specially discussed and filled this loophole. It is also to lay the foundation for the future popularity of the live broadcast program of chasing murderers around the world. And beside Chen Qiming, Nan Yewu heard the news and stood up excitedly. Great, this program is constantly being optimized. The broadcast proposal I made to Sakura Country TV has been approved. We only need to go through a few more procedures over there, and it won't be long before the murderous chase live broadcast will be launched in Sakura Country. Toei TV is the largest official TV station in Sakura Country. Director Chen Qiming immediately thought of the figure of the director of Toei TV. It's so nice to have someone with whom I can be scared together. Oh, by the way, Director Chen, I need to give you a vaccination. Nan Yewu suddenly changed the topic and said. Because Sakura Country introduced it relatively late, and because it is a live broadcast, it is inconvenient for viewers to watch back at first, and it is easy for viewers to be confused about the situation. So, when it is first introduced, this new form of program may go through a trough period, but it will be much better later, with good content, and real gold is not afraid of being tested by fire. The review will be up soon. Hearing this, Director Chen Qiming smiled, took a sip of tea, and said slowly. Mr. Nani, I have been working in the directing industry for decades, and I still understand some of the rules. You don't need to say more. Like you, I'm waiting to see how it plays out. At the same time, on the outskirts of Jinling City, the 4 experts including Yasuji Karada stood there and watched a car slowly drive towards them and stop in front of them. The car door opens, Luo Ji, Shi Yong, and 2 policemen came down and stretched. It's time to rest, it's time to work. Shi Yong only slept for 2 or 3 hours, but he looked refreshed and full of energy. He looked at the group of 4 people standing aside, looking a little embarrassed, and immediately understood. It seems that Su Chen is more cunning than you think, right? As soon as this was said, the 4 of them looked at each other with wry smiles on their faces. Tune the tiger away from the mountain. Wang Yanqing replied briefly, and then fell silent. I admit, this time it gave him a slight advantage. Karada's Shangshan turned her face away reluctantly. But it's just a little bit. He's a little bit more powerful. Don't be too upset. I'll show you something good. Shi Yong looked mysterious and opened the trunk. Then, in full view of everyone, he took out several paintball guns. The shape of this paintball gun uses a 1-to-1 simulation design, but the kinetic energy of the bullet is very small, leaving only speed. If it hits a person, it is just a ball of oil paint and will not cause any substantial harm. It complies with the control standards of the Dragon Kingdom. Su Chen is now one of the top 10 serial murderers on the bounty list. His superiors assessed his danger and gave us paintball guns. Here are 3, come on, the experienced shooters can take them. Shi Yong himself picked one up first and skillfully checked and loaded the ammunition. The whole process was exactly the same as handling a real gun. He handed the other 2 guns to the 2 police officers. These 2 police officers are both frontline criminal investigators and veterans of shooting. Shi Yong was a soldier. When faced with firearms, he instantly put away his previous cynicism and said seriously. These 2 Easter egg guns, when placed in the show, are equivalent to real guns, with considerable lethality. All procedures should be treated as real guns. Check them carefully. The posture of holding the gun must be standard to prevent misfire and accidental contact. Do you understand? Yes, the 2 police officers replied in unison. When the audience saw this scene, they immediately became excited. Holy shit, there's also a shootout. This show is getting more and more exciting. I was so excited that I quickly found the electric drill I had used during the renovation of my house and pressed it into the air twice, just to feel the recoil. As a firearms enthusiast, I admit, I am greedy. Hahaha. After Su Chen entered the top 10 on the list, his treatment has obviously changed. Everything is based on the real situation. Think about it, in reality, if you are facing a fugitive who has committed a terrorist attack and killed 4 people in a row, how can you not be equipped with a gun? Now, Shi Yong and Luo Ji have joined, as well as gunmen. I'm a little worried about Su Chen. You're right, once you get started with this hot weapon, it's not on the same level as bare-handed fists. Although Su Chen's body skills are good now, the gun is still accurate and fast, not to mention that Shi Yong, a veteran who holds a gun, can be described as being more powerful than a tiger. For someone who has been on the battlefield, his accuracy and reaction are beyond question. Next to the car, seeing the meticulous attitudes of these 2 frontline detectives, Shi Yong nodded slightly. He put away the paintball gun and turned to look at Yusuji Karatas and others. Tell me more about what was going on before we came here. We need to level the information. As soon as these words came out, the 4 experts looked embarrassed for a moment. Afterwards, they explained in detail how Su Chen stole the car and deceived their tracking. After a general understanding, Shi Yong clicked his tongue and frowned. This kid is quite clever. But according to what I knew about Su Chen before, he just stole a car and deceived you and that's it. It's not possible. Yusuji Mingai, Qin Ming and others were stunned when they heard this. What do you mean? As I said before, think from Su Chen's perspective. Shi Yong went around the car to inspect it and said. Su Chen likes to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, saving time and being efficient. He will never do 2 things if he can do 1 thing. Let me ask you, what does he need most when he is playing against us now? Escape? Qin Ming asked in confusion. No, Shi Yong said firmly. When playing against others, the most important thing is to understand your opponent. The experts thought about this sentence and suddenly felt that it made sense, and the barrage also suddenly realized. Fuck, it makes sense. Su Chen is in the program and has an information filter. Although we, the audience, as a god's perspective, all know what big guys have joined this time, but Su Chen does not know. The newly formed expert group is an unknown to him. Shi Yong is really a worm in Su Chen's stomach. This idea is not difficult, but the difficult part is the idea. Few people can think about the problem this way. It's interesting, I need to grow a brain. Facing the experts, Shi Yong continued. Su Chen doesn't know who will join the expert team this time. If I were him, I would definitely find a way to find out who is chasing him first. On the battlefield, our team leader said that knowing yourself and the enemy will ensure victory in 100 battles. Only in this way can we have the basis for thinking about how to deal with it. As for how to understand us. As he said this, he suddenly realized something and his face changed. Then, Shi Yong quickly raised his hand, and the paintball gun in his hand shot out 2 colored eggs in an instant, hitting the rearview mirror of the car that the car thief had been riding in before. Everyone was startled by his actions, and they turned their heads and looked at the 2 pieces of oil paint inexplicably. Check it out. Shi Yong said. Yusuji Aya took the lead, moved closer, and carefully looked at the lens on the rearview mirror. She was suddenly stunned. The image presented by this mirror has no sense of distance. This is a one-way light-transmitting mirror. Hearing this, Shi Yong walked over and hit the mirror with the butt of a gun. Snap. The lens shattered instantly and scattered all over the floor, and behind the broken mirror, a hidden camera hung with wires and fell out. This scene made everyone's brain buzz. Su Chen is spying on us. Yusuji Mingai quickly reached out, pulled out the camera and turned it off. It's too late. After so long, he has already seen what he should have seen. Shi Chang took out the old green leather military water bottle from his leather jacket and drank a sip of water. Now, I guess Su Chen already knows the existence of me, Luo Ji, and Mingai. And, as smart as he is, he may have a general judgment of our personalities and abilities. Chapter 72. While testing others, you are also being tested. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 72. While testing others, you are also being tested yourself. I see, Su Chen's routine is really deep. There are so many ways in just one car. Yes, his calculations are layer after layer. When you realize that you have been tricked by Su Chen, you may have been tricked by him several times. This Shi Yong is also very thoughtful. To be honest, if it were me, I wouldn't be able to guess what Su Chen did. Writing this, I hope readers will remember our domain name TaiwanNovelNetwork.circled.m. I just like to watch this kind of game between masters and masters, one routine after another, fighting each other's tricks. It makes my brain go crazy. Damn it, these two people together must have 800 tricks. Qin Ming, who was standing next to Shi Yong, felt Su Chen's routine and couldn't help but rub his eyebrows. It seems that the gap opened by Su Chen this morning is wider than we imagined. Originally, the identity of the new member of the hunting team was a huge information advantage for them. In modern society, the information you can control is your strength, because the unknown means danger. Su Chen's lack of understanding of the new members will allow them to win unexpectedly. However, just now, with just this camera, Su Chen had filled in the information gap. Brother, you don't have to think so. Shi Yong was not too depressed. He smiled and said, "You have to know that when Su Chen takes the initiative to test us, he will definitely bear the risk of being tested. Su Chen's move is actually a risky move. Our information is too important, so he has no choice but to do it." When Qin Ming heard this, he couldn't help but look up at Shi Yong. He also discovered that although this person had graduated from elementary school and was not highly educated, he had an amazing insight. This is an ability learned from being among people. It is the result of dealing with different people. It is both intuition and experience. Uncle is right. Yusuji Caritas also adjusted her emotions. She patted her face with both hands, cheered up and said, "Su Chen will play tricks on us, and as pursuers, we will continue to learn lessons and experiences. The more times he plays tricks, the greater the risks he takes and the more likely he is to make mistakes. The only difference is we can turn the ball over a lot. But Su Chen can only make one mistake." "Right." Behind everyone, Luo Ji, who had been silent until now, echoed. "I think what everyone said is good. Come on. Everyone, what were you doing before? Did you become invisible?" Shi Yong showed a warm smile, walked over, locked Luo Ji with his thick arms, and said secretly, "Brother Luo, you could do some good." Luo Ji was so locked that he rolled his eyes and said quickly, Okay, you say. Shi Yong said. "Since Su Chen secretly filmed us with a camera, he must receive the camera's signal, and this signal cannot be encrypted. This is his risk. Brother Luo, what do you think?" You have a clue. Luo Ji quickly placed the computer in his hand in front of everyone. The eyes of the experts immediately focused on the screen, where columns of symbols and numbers were dancing. Sure, our ideas are on the same page," Luo Ji explained. "I just tried to decode the signal and track it and find his location, and I'm doing that now." Shi Yong let go of Luo Ji and was a little surprised. "Brother Luo, when did you learn information technology?" "Why don't I remember? I just learned it. When you were chatting and reasoning just now, I learned it. I can't say that I am very good at it, but I am getting started." Luo Ji lay in front of the computer, turned on the split screen, and multitasked. While he was constantly checking various information on the internet and professional forums, he just glanced at each large piece of information and absorbed it into his mind, then closed it and looked at the next one. On the other side, his other hand was typing on the keyboard, typing lines of code on the screen, learn and operate at the same time. "Brother Luo, how long will it take?" Shi Yong looked at the symbols on it and found that he could understand them when they were apart, but he didn't recognize them when they were closed, so he gave up his observation and asked Luo Ji directly. "It's a bit difficult. The content of this kind of thing is too complicated. At least it needs to be done at a professional level." While Luo Ji was talking, he kept moving his hands. "I have never been exposed to this knowledge before, so it is difficult to learn. At my current learning speed, it may take an hour. That it only takes an hour. After saying this, the rest of the expert team fell silent. For normal people, if they want to get started, they must go through at least several months of systematic study, but if you think about it carefully, it doesn't seem that surprising. After all, Luo Ji is someone who can master a language in 2 hours. This guy's IQ is much higher than the average person. He is simply a monster. The barrage was also confusing. No. Are we really the same species? We both have the same brain. Why can he master a technology easily while I haven't understood advanced mathematics in 2 years? The day after I wanted to steal my brain. I heard that the brains of geniuses have deeper grooves than those of normal people, which can increase the area of the cerebral cortex and accommodate more neurons. In that case, my brain must be as smooth as tofu pudding. I feel dizzy just watching him operate on the computer, let alone understanding it. Damn, a high IQ can't be so outrageous. In front of this person, I always feel that my previous efforts are like a joke. Because in any field, he can easily reach the level that others have worked hard for a long time to achieve. Maybe Chen should be thankful for Luo Ji's laziness. If such a person gets serious, how terrifying it will be. Sunshine Circus Tent, Lounge. So that's it, there are 3 new people in the expert group. Chen sat on a chair in the lounge, muttering to himself as he looked at the phone in his hand. There was no phone card in his phone, so there was little room for operation. He could only crack and connect to the circus's Wi-Fi to receive the video. I know that girl, Yusuji, a detective who became famous at a young age. She has a lot of ideas for solving cases and is talented. However, being famous at a young age also has disadvantages. She is impatient and impulsive, and she is not as thoughtful as the old police. That chicken coop head. I haven't seen him before, and it needs to be verified. Maybe we can test him again to find out the bottom. There is also a very strong middle-aged man. Judging from his posture and habits, and the way he uses the gun, he should have been a soldier. And his shooting is very accurate. He hit my camera with 1 shot. The other 3 are old friends. Chen turned off his mobile phone, stood up and paced in the small lounge, thinking secretly, at present, in his opinion, the most difficult person to deal with is the middle-aged man. Guns do need extra care, especially when they are in the hands of old soldiers, and he himself must establish an advantage as soon as possible to ensure that he will not fall into a passive position. The most feasible way is probably to disguise myself, and then get familiar with the terrain of this circus, use the nearby connections, and make this place my home ground. After they arrive, they will fight in my home ground. I am in the dark and also in the wind. Chen said, looking around. His eyes fell on the beautiful woman in the corner of the lounge, whose hands and feet were tied and whose mouth was stuffed with a cloth. The latter was immediately frightened by such a look, and shrank back, helplessly unable to move. Chen smiled at her. I think you also think my plan is good, right? Sorry, I still owe you 1,500 words, and I will update it next time. Today I thought about the plot later, and the typing was slow. Chapter 73, The Vase Girl Turns Over, The Circus Beauty. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 73, The Vase Girl Turns Over and Becomes a Circus Beauty. There is still 1 hour before the show starts. Time waits for no one. Chen stood up and started to choose clothes in the lounge. Due to the special nature of their work, employees in the circus usually have many identical costumes, because they have to perform several shows a day. If the costumes get dirty and torn during the performance, there is no time to clean or repair them, so they just prepare a few more sets and change them at any time, and this also makes Chen's disguise very convenient. After choosing the clothes, he went to the makeup area in the lounge. Opening the cabinet, there are a lot of makeup tools, not only cosmetics, special effects cosmetics, but also wigs, beauty contact lenses, fake breasts. I really chose a good place. Chen said to himself. More than 20 minutes, the door of the lounge opened and Chen walked out. This time, his image is no longer that of a young man. Instead, he has become a graceful lady. Whether it is clothing or face, they are exactly the same as the previous beauty: bright eyes, white teeth, red lips and black hair. even more bright and charming than the original owner. The netizens in the live broadcast room have difficulty organizing their words after seeing Su Chen's new image. This effect is simply outrageous, it's outrageous to the extreme, fuck. Su Chen, are you serious? I felt something was wrong when he entered the lounge. It turned out that he was waiting for us. Fuck, after seeing Su Chen's makeup skills, I decided that in the future, I will only date people without makeup. Wow, last time I was cheated in a fruit chat, a big man who used special effects makeup technology and level 10 beauty to extort 8,000 yuan. Hiss, Su Chen is so scary. Even when I am at my peak, I have to avoid her. If I hadn't seen Su Chen's makeup process, I couldn't tell the difference. I really can't tell the difference. She is so beautiful that even I can't help but want to return to the secular world. The bald donkey above, don't compete with me for brother Su Chen. While the barrage was full of people, Su Chen looked in the mirror and checked his disguise. For him, playing a woman is much more difficult than playing a man, and there is a reason why he chose to disguise himself as the face of the house tonight. In the lounge, using the criminal investigation and interrogation technology of his previous life, he briefly interrogated the beauty. Su Chen learned that because the circus's income has decreased, many actors have part-time jobs to earn extra money to support the team. For example, this front lady has more than just performance tasks, she also works part-time at the City Chess Academy in Platinum City, serving as the chief etiquette lady of the event. At noon today, there was a friendly match at the Chess Academy in Platinum City, therefore, after the morning performance, this beauty couldn't even take a break and was immediately taken to Platinum City. And this is the best opportunity for him to travel from Jinling City to Platinum City. In addition, there is another reason, that is, Su Chen feels that he can play this beauty better than other actors. As an actor who is less professional than a young actor, he is a complete layman in acting. If he disguises himself as a clown and performs a farce, he may be exposed if he is not careful. However, he learned from this beauty that her main performance is stage catwalk, plus acrobatics. Su Chen said he is good at it. Needless to say, catwalk is okay, just go up and take a walk. As for acrobatics, he now has the ancient thief's beam spell, and he is light and healthy. Since ancient times, beam spells and acrobatics have been inseparable. Although this beauty is a pillar of the stage, her skills must be superb, but Su Chen is confident that he can perform at the same level as her. After observing in the mirror for a while and confirming that there are no flaws on himself, Su Chen stuffed the beauty's ID card and other documents into his clothes, and then he walked to the back of the stage. Behind the stage, the preparation area, as the show was about to begin. The preparation area was busy and people came and went. Circus performances require a lot of equipment and props, therefore, except for the high-difficulty stunt performers with a relatively high status, the male actors have to act as laborers in the troupe when they are not performing. Among the busy figures of the crowd, on the training ground, several female beauty actors were waiting there. In front of them stood a bald middle-aged man, pacing and looking at his watch. This man was the current owner of the circus, Zhang Jinjie. Why hasn't she arrived yet? We are running out of time to rehearse the new show. Boss Zhang's tone was anxious. The circus's revenue was really getting worse year by year. The audience was tired of the old routine, so he had to come up with some new tricks. The audience loved to watch acrobatics, aerial performances, and beauties. For the finale of the mid and backstage show, he planned to let these beauties perform acrobatics in the air. It was full of buffs, and I don't believe that the audience didn't like it. The only problem is that the circus business is bleak, and the talented beautiful actresses have almost all left. The remaining beauties have low skills, especially the beauties who are called the pillars of the show. They rely entirely on their faces to support the scene. In the past, such a vase could not be the pillar of the show. But there is no way now, things are different now, the audience buys it and loves to watch this. Boss, why don't we rehearse it first? Anyway, her role is not the main one, so we can arrange it in any way. A beautiful woman in red said. As soon as the voice fell, the other beauties nodded. After all, when this program was designed, the main responsibility of the pillar beauties was to walk on the stage and meet guests with their faces. The more difficult movements were all done by them. Okay. Boss Zhang from the Mediterranean nodded. and his tone clearly showed that he lacked confidence in this new program. The reason is simple. The audience watches aerial performances for excitement, and their skills just can't do difficult movements. The boss had a feeling that this new program was going to be a failure. I guess I can't count on it. Watching the beautiful actresses start to prepare, he sighed and started to think about other programs. Speaking of which, the live broadcast of Chasing Murderers is very popular recently. Can we take advantage of the popularity? Just perform one. Chen went in and out of the police station 7 times. No, a program with this theme will definitely be banned. Boss Zhang shook his head and muttered. Come to think of it, I can't receive the live broadcast of Chasing Murderers since 2 hours ago. Is there something wrong? Did Chen escape to this area? Well, it's possible. Maybe he is hiding in the audience for a while. That would be great, Boss Zhang fantasized unrealistically. If Chen comes, wouldn't all 100 million people in Longguo watch our circus? Maybe we'll become famous overnight and go viral on the internet. I'm just daydreaming. Oh, it's so hard to make money. Just as he was talking to himself, he saw the pillar beauty he had been waiting for came late. As Chen walked, he looked around calmly. There were indeed many strange devices around, and the person in front of him was probably the owner of the circus. Chapter 74. She is really a hidden talent. The circus owner is shocked. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 74. She is really a hidden talent. The shocked circus owner. Hey, Xiao Chen, you are finally here. The circus owner came back to his senses and saw Chen, and immediately forced a smile. There was no way, he had too many things on his mind, and he really couldn't smile. Yeah, boss. Chen just smiled and nodded in response. He has not yet figured out how the person he plays gets along with others, and the usual conversation habits, so Chen tried not to talk too much, because too much talk would lead to mistakes. The circus owner was a little surprised when he saw the reaction of the beauty in front of him. He thought that this girl has always been very fierce. Why is she so reserved and polite today? However, the show was about to start, and this doubt flashed by and did not stay for too long. Xiao Chen, come on, come on. Boss Zhang quickly took Chen to the practice field, where there were several rings hanging above the soft mat, as well as facilities such as aerial swings. These things were hung not very high, less than 3 meters from the ground, and there were mats underneath, so even if they fell during training, as long as the posture was correct, they would not be injured. And on the stage, it was really more than 10 meters high. On the practice field, several beautiful actresses had begun to swing between the rings like monkeys. In the eyes of outsiders, it was quite exciting. Seeing Chen coming, they just glanced at him and continued to practice. Boss, what do you say I should do? Chen looked at the equipment on the practice field and asked. He had previously asked the beautiful woman he tied up what she would perform in a while, but she just said that the boss would arrange it at that time. Hey, Xiao Chen, your attitude is much better than before. Boss Zhang was slightly surprised, but when he thought of the weakness of this vase beauty, the joy that he had finally felt was swept away. When this vase beauty knew that she was going to participate in this show, she was quite resistant, because she knew her own strength, so she kept lying that she was afraid of heights, trying to fool her. It was only after Boss Zhang went up to her 3 times and mobilized her several times that she finally agreed to perform. At this time, facing Chen's questions, Boss Zhang naturally did not dare to say too much. He weighed the words and whispered to Chen. Just do it at your usual level, play it freely, and do whatever you want. According to your usual level? Chen looked up and looked at the boss seriously. As everyone knows, the 2 words casually seem to be nothing, but they are actually the most difficult requirements to achieve, such as, just make something casual for dinner today. Where are we going to eat when we go out, wife? You can just pick a restaurant. I'll do it. You can do whatever you want, which one can easily satisfy the other party. Especially when paired with the phrase according to the usual level, it means that your performance must not be worse than usual, at least above average. In general, this is the highest requirement he has ever heard. I'm ready. Chen took a deep breath, stood under the rings, and looked at the other beauties who were training. He decided to spare no effort next and must not be exposed. Let's start. That the boss sighed and said. Xiao Chen, don't force yourself. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Damn it. What's wrong with this girl today? That I only saw Su Chen lightly jump up, holding the ring with one hand, and his body swayed like a fish out of water, and instantly rose into the air. Then, a one-arm big loop. Even in acrobatics, this is an extremely difficult move, and the arm strength and core strength of ordinary acrobats are difficult to complete. However, the peerless beauty in front of him easily held the ring and circled in the air. Then, it was a series of dazzling operations: aerial ballet, Tarzan, fish jump through the ring, big swing, the bright red skirt of the beauty, like a leaping flame, shuttled through various devices, like a swallow and lightning, sometimes agile, sometimes graceful. Captain Zhang was stunned and could no longer utter other words, and on the rings and swings other beauties who were training on the field, they hadn't reacted yet. They only felt their cheeks slightly tickled by the wind, and a bright color flashed by their side. Damn, what flew over? They turned their heads in surprise. They saw a figure jumping in front of them. They looked in front, and then suddenly they were behind. For a moment, they were like gourds hanging on a vine, hanging motionlessly in the air, watching Su Chen's performance. After performing a series of difficult moves, Su Chen stood on the floating aerial swing and jumped down. He landed on the mat with a very simple and unpretentious 180-degree turn in the air. A simple ending. Su Chen stabilized his body, walked down briskly, and looked at Captain Zhang on the side. Boss, how was this performance? The breeze blew the few hairs on Zhang Jinjia's head. It's hidden so well, it's hidden so well. He spoke slowly, his expression still not recovered from the shock. Our circus is saved. At this moment, in the eyes of Boss Zhang, Su Chen is undoubtedly a real pillar. Without any water, what is a pillar? That is a person who can guarantee the audience volume of the whole show by himself. That is Dad. Suddenly, Captain Zhang seemed to remember something, and hurriedly brought his chair over. Hurry up, Xiao Chen, go and have a rest, don't get tired. As expected of a pillar, the treatment is extraordinary. Su Chen was also surprised in his heart, and waved his hands repeatedly. It's okay, I'm not tired. How about we rehearse again? No, no. Captain Zhang said politely. With your level, there will be no problem on the stage. As he said, he turned around and shouted to the beauties behind him who were already stunned. You continue to train, and hurry up to rehearse a few more times. Other beauties, this is the second update. I still owe 2 chapters. I have to finish them even if I stay up late today. I absolutely cannot delay any longer. Cure my laziness. The chapters 10 will be released afternoon tomorrow. Everyone go to sleep first. I will go to write. Thanks for your understanding. Chapter 75. The expert team arrives. Su Chen's location is exposed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 75. The expert team arrived, and Su Chen's position was exposed. The other actresses were still a little confused. I just felt that in the brief 10 seconds just now, my understanding of this pillar was completely shattered. After breaking it, it was crushed into slag. Taiwan Novel Network. After being crushed into slag, it was raised again. The actresses looked at the stunning beauty munching watermelon. Incomprehensible. Why did she look like a different person when she changed her clothes? Or, in fact, she has been pretending to be a pig before, but it makes no sense. There is no reason. Why is she hiding her strength? Just to save effort. The male actors in the practice field backstage couldn't help but glance at the beautiful woman. It was as if she was a magnet, attracting everyone's attention. Originally, when she was still a flower vase, these male actors were a little intimidated by her charming face, and now, we see that her strength is obviously above the average level. The male actors who originally wanted to talk to them suddenly felt even more inferior. This world is really unfair. These people didn't know that Su Chen had already seen their reactions. He smiled in his heart, knowing that his goal had been achieved. With the strength of the expert team, it is very likely that they will find this place soon, and immediately, a fierce rivalry will take place. Before that, Su Chen must establish his own advantages in the circus. Men know men best. Su Chen knew that these male actors were probably very conflicted at the moment. they want to get close to themselves and talk to themselves, but they are a little in awe and feel inferior. At this time, if you take the initiative to approach them, then the other party will definitely put down their guard against you, and may even be very attentive to you. And this is also his best opportunity to gain benefits and become familiar with the circus. At the same time, the entrance of Sunshine Resort Manor, among the bustling tourists, the expert team, dressed in casual clothes, blended in. Brother Luo, enter the village quietly and don't want any shooters. Shi Yong waved his hand towards Luo Ji, motioning for him to put away the instruments in his hands. At this moment, in order to hide their identities, they were all dressed as tourists. Shi Yongjing was wearing a large floral jacket, floral pants, and a paintball gun hidden on the back of his waist. He was very social. Luo Ji, on the other hand, was wearing a peaked cap, carrying a cloth bag, and toed glasses, looking like a travel blogger. While Luo Ji stuffed his computer and signal detector into a cloth bag, he nodded toward the towering circular roof of the circus not far away. That's it. Let's buy the tickets first and go in like ordinary tourists. Don't let the circus people notice. We don't know Su Chen's exact location now, and Su Chen doesn't know that we are already here. We are currently in the dark, and whoever is exposed first will have the upper hand. What Brother Luo said is absolutely true. Shi Yong gave Luo Ji a thumbs up. Su Chen is really good at choosing. The circus is a good place. The viewers in the live broadcast room couldn't help but smile knowingly when they saw the appearance of the expert panel. It seems that the experts in the expert team are going to lurk this time. Of course, do you want to rush into the circus openly and shout, "We are an expert team for chasing live broadcasts of murderers"? Shi Yong really looks like a nouveau riche, ahaha. It's the kind of person who has money in place but hasn't improved his temperament yet. Wow, look at the back, it's really a bit of a contrast when you see the experts in casual clothes. Behind Luo Ji and Shi Yong were 4 experts and 2 police officers. Bai Su was wearing jeans and a waist-bearing short top. She had a tall figure and a pair of big sunglasses on her fair face, making her fashionable and beautiful. Qin Ming and Wang Yanqing also dressed up as ordinary tourists. 2 people with social fears seemed a little cramped in a place where tourists gathered. Is the positioning accurate this time? Yusuji Caritas, wearing a JK uniform, asked. I remember that when I was at the Jinling City Public Security Bureau, Su Chen used a fake address to deceive Senior Duan Yu. After watching the live broadcast of Su Chen's pursuit of the murderer before his identity was exposed, she was deeply impressed by Su Chen's hacking skills, so she was always wary. I also considered Su Chen's hacking skills, so I did not use information technology to locate, but directly tracked the source of the information. Luo Ji smiled at Ming Yusuji. Hacker technology can only deal with software, not hardware. He explained. The structure of the camera used by Su Chen for peeping is too simple. It has no programming function at all and can only transmit images remotely. Let's follow the signal it transmits the image. There's nothing Su Chen can do. Oh. Yusuji Akita nodded in understanding. She is not very familiar with this knowledge. The 8 members of the expert team walked all the way towards the circus, and soon arrived at the ticket office at the entrance of the circus. In front of the door, colorful ribbons were flying, so lively, even the ticket checking staff were a little puzzled because there weren't many people there during the holidays a few days ago. Why are there so many people today? And it seems that there are many people who come from afar to watch the circus. Could it be the Renaissance? Is it that the short video is not good, or that the novel is discontinued? The audience in the live broadcast room understood it instantly when they saw the huge crowd. The influence of the live broadcast of the pursuit of the murderer is not fake. So many people are here to see Su Chen. Just kidding, more than 100 million online viewers, and this is only in Longwa. Which variety show has this volume? No wonder the hot searches bought by my brother's studio can't be ranked first in the past 2 days. So much money was wasted. I would have gone there earlier. Even if I just saw him, it would be worth it. The ticket price online has increased several times now. Brothers, I was at Sunshine Holiday Manor. I just got off the car. It was amazing. When I was 10 miles away from the manor, my phone suddenly couldn't receive the signal of the live broadcast of the pursuit of the murderer. Me too, and when I got closer, I received a text message reminder. At first, I thought it was the kind of welcome text message that I often encounter. Unexpectedly, it was the relevant terms of the live broadcast of the pursuit of the murderer. In short, you can't interfere with the normal order of the program. The entrance of the circus, the expert team stood still and lined up at the end of the team. With Su Chen's disguise skills, he is like a fish in water in the circus. Shi Yong looked at the dark door and turned his head to look at the people behind him. Be smart for a while, hide your guns and take them, female comrades and Luo Ji should not act alone, keep your eyes open and observe carefully. This time, we have entered Su Chen's den of thieves. Chapter 76, Su Chen, Stop Strolling, the people who are here to arrest you are here. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 76, Su Chen, Stop Strolling, the people who want to catch you are here. The live broadcast perspective switched to Su Chen. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. Seeing that the expert team had arrived at the door of the circus and might come in 10 minutes, the netizens in the live broadcast room were looking forward to how Su Chen would respond. However, after the camera switched, they were all stunned. Su Chen, who appeared on the screen, was actually holding a coconut and wandering around with the circus staff. Fuck, Su Chen, you are so arrogant, what are you doing? Don't enjoy the privilege of being a beauty anymore. If you don't think of a way, you will have to eat rice. Su Chen, listen to me, use your acrobatics, fly up, show them off, and then run away. Anyway, they can't reach you. No, they have guns. He may not know that the expert team has chased to the door. What should I do? I am really worried for him. Such a good show should not end here. Backstage of the circus, Su Chen stood tall and proud while drinking coconut juice. In front of him, a male actor in a clown costume was performing and showing his own show. He was standing in an empty field, with 3 rabbits jumping around him, and he was waving 3 hemp ropes tied with noose in his hands. Those rabbits were extremely energetic and very fast. You couldn't keep up with them just by looking with your eyes. Suddenly, the hemp rope in the clown's hand was thrown out instantly. 3 ropes were thrown out in 3 directions at the same time. Then, they were accurately put on the 3 rabbits, and the clown lifted them up, and the 3 rabbits fell into his arms. Pa pa pa, Su Chen clapped his hands and laughed. Awesome. How can you put it so accurately? I can't see it clearly. The clown's face was instantly full of smiles, and it was visibly red. He was a teenager and has been performing on stage for nearly 10 years, but he has never been happier than now. The cheers of tens of millions of audiences before were not as good as the smile of the beauty in front of him. This life is worth it. Miss Chen, the principle is actually very simple. My master won't let me tell you, so I'll tell you alone. The clown actor came up diligently and made a decision that went against his ancestors, saying to Su Chen. Actually, this thing has nothing to do with whether you put it on accurately or not. The main thing is that there is a mechanism. Oh, Su Chen's eyes lit up, and he looked at the other party with a curious look and a little admiration. What mechanism? Sure enough, the clown actor couldn't control his mouth after being looked at like this. He mysteriously put the lasso in his hand in front of Su Chen. Su Chen took a look and found that the thick hemp rope was connected to a transparent plastic thin line. Because it was transparent, it was not visible unless you looked closely, the clown said. I laid these thin lines on the ground in advance, tied them in knots, and stretched them very tight. As long as the rabbit touches the line, the knot will loosen and the thin line will entangle it. And the other end of the thin line is connected to my rope. You see that I threw the rope out, but in fact, it is this transparent line that pulled the rope in my hand out. The transparent line is connected to the rope at one end and the rabbit at the other end. Do you think I can't be accurate? That's it. Su Chen nodded as if he suddenly realized something, and the smile on the clown's face became brighter. Then what if I use the transparent thin line to directly pull the gun, the rabbit over? Su Chen asked. The clown scratched his head. This won't work, because the transparent line is too thin and easy to break. If you use a thick hemp rope to put it, even a man weighing 200 kilograms can lift it. Hearing this, Chen nodded thoughtfully. Suddenly, he took a step forward and asked tentatively. Your show will be over soon, can you lend me this device to play with? Ah. This. The clown didn't expect the other party to say that, and immediately hesitated. My master said that the principle of this thing cannot be told to outsiders, and playing with it is even more impossible. Chen interrupted. Just take a look, anyway, I already know its secret. Don't worry, I won't use it for anything. No, the master said. The clown was speechless. Oh, right. Chen pretended to think. It just so happens that I want to watch a movie tomorrow night, but it's too boring to go alone. Here you go. I have a spare one. The clown immediately handed the rope to Chen's hand. Who can resist this? Chen smiled and took the rope. At the same time, I couldn't help but sigh in my heart. Sure enough, in this world, appearance is always hard currency. Just smile at people and scan your face, and you can get what you want. This beautiful face is really more useful than the black card of Roshi Bank. Let's go somewhere else. Chen suggested. Okay, the clown agreed happily. The barrage was dumbfounded. Chen, why are you so skilled? Damn, it turns out that men understand men best. If I didn't know that this was Chen pretending, I couldn't stand it. Stop talking, it's not just men, I can't stand it either. Brothers, learn from this, see, don't be fooled by the same technique again. Chen is showing us a truth with his actions. Don't just look at the outside, but also look at the inside. Sisters, the inside, seems pretty good too. I made money. Speaking of which, I always feel that Chen is not just chatting, I feel that he is holding back some scheme. I also, although I don't know why Chen did this, but with his personality, he shouldn't do anything unnecessary. At the same time, Chen and the clown were strolling around the circus, actually paying attention to the strange devices around them. While observing, he talked to the clown. Brother, can you help me keep an eye on a few people later? Girl, don't worry. The clown patted his chest and said. I have the most acquaintances in the entire Cirque du Soleil. Who do you say it is? I will tell my friends and I guarantee that they will help you keep an eye on them. Chen thought about the new experts he saw on the camera. He described the people in the expert group to the clown in a deep voice without leaving any trace. Moreover, the description was just right, which not only explained the other party's appearance characteristics, but also did not let the clown realize that the people he was talking about were the expert group. After Chen finished speaking, the clown nodded repeatedly. Don't worry, girl, I promise you that from now on, the entire circus is your eyes. As soon as they show up, I will notify you as soon as possible. Chapter 77. The Sakura Country Channel is open. Uninformed viewers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 77, Sakura Country Channel opened. Unknown viewers. And at this moment, all the viewers who were watching the live broadcast of the pursuit of the murderer found that the screen had a slight freeze at this moment. Then, it quickly returned to normal. Taiwan Novel Network. This was originally a detail that was too subtle to notice, but it made the backstage of the pursuit of the murderer live broadcast very excited. Because, just a moment ago, the pursuit of the murderer live broadcast was launched simultaneously in Sakura Country. Under the official hype of Sakura Country, the live broadcast line was just opened, and nearly 10 million people poured in instantly. Therefore, it caused the line to freeze slightly. Fortunately, after investing more live broadcast resources, this last little flaw was immediately fixed. In order to avoid fighting, the live broadcast barrage of Sakura Country and Dragon Country are in two different partitions. Do not interfere with each other unless you sneak in with a ladder. In the Sakura Country section, the audience was noisy. What? Why can't I see Ming Ai-chan? Wasn't it agreed that she would participate? Otherwise, I wouldn't watch this variety show. Yes, yes, yes. I came here to watch Ming Ai as well. Why is there a clown in the picture? Is Toei selling dog meat under the guise of sheep? What's the matter with this variety show? Escape? There is none at all. There is only a clown chattering non-stop. Boring, start solving the case quickly. If you keep talking like this, I will continue watching anime. Sure enough, the live broadcast format is still not to my taste. However, the next second, the camera turned, Chen's face appeared on the big screen. Sakura Country audience. Chen and the clown walked through the various facilities of the circus while listening to the explanation. This is our mirror maze. You should have played it when you went to the amusement park before. It's full of mirrors. Once you get in, it's hard to get out. Ours has another function. Its base can be moved. The clown explained in detail, almost every corner of the circus. This is the cage for magic shows. It actually has a lifting mechanism. It looks like a big cage, but it's actually a big cage with a small cage inside. And this, our atmosphere light. Ah, I forgot you are an acrobat, you should have seen it. This kind of light is installed on the starting platform for your high-altitude performances. It is the highest point of the circus. Accompanied by the clown's explanation, the girl played by Chen also cooperated very well. Her face was bright and surprised for a while, and sometimes she was accompanied by explanations, thinking about something. It can be said that her eyebrows are smart and make people look around. With Chen's reaction, the clown explained with great enthusiasm. When the audience of Sakura Country saw Chen, the attitude instantly took a 180-degree turn. WWWW. Who is this beauty? Does she have a name? Is she a star? Nanny, I take back what I said before, director, I advise you to have some self-awareness, just keep the camera focused here. Too beautiful, too elegant, I can watch her all day in front of the computer without getting tired of it. I heard that the fugitive from Longwo was called Chen. I thought it was a man, but it turned out to be a lovely lady. I feel like I'm in love. Sorry, Ming AI, my heart was stolen by a Longwo person. Tsk. As a mystery enthusiast, I thought Longwo launched some serious mystery and escape case this time, but I didn't expect it to use beautiful women to attract attention. I'm so disappointed. The above, you are so disappointed, why are you still paying attention to the live broadcast room? Such a beautiful fugitive, do the experts in Longwo really have the heart to catch her? Do you have the heart? Is there still a chance to apply for the expert panel now? I think I can give it a try, in order to increase the ratings and ensure the exclusive broadcast status of this program. When Toei TV and Sakura Country decided to consider introducing the live broadcast of The Pursuit of the Murderer, it carried out a network cleaning activity. All the content about the live broadcast of The Pursuit of the Murderer on the entire network of Sakura Country was removed from the shelves, and identify the only official viewing channel, and do not allow further uploading, otherwise it will be infringement. After all, the broadcast rights of this live broadcast of The Pursuit of the Murderer were obtained by Toei TV at a cost of 2.5 billion yen to Yangshire. It is precisely because of this that most of the viewers who poured into Sakura Country did not know what happened before the live broadcast of The Pursuit of the Murderer. They also did not know the truth. And some Dragon Country viewers who climbed over the wall and sneaked into the Sakura Country section had already watched all the programs. When they saw the comments of Sakura Country, they burst into laughter instantly. Ahaha, good, they believed it, they really believed it. The audience of Sakura Country is really miserable. They fell into Chen's trick at the beginning. Isn't the effect of this program? Sakura Country audience, please believe your eyes, our Dragon Country is indeed a beautiful escapee this time. Funny, but I will first observe a 2-second silence for those crazy confessions above. I wonder how they will react when they see Chen's true face later. It must be a large-scale live love break scene. At the same time, circus entrance, after queuing for a long time, Shi Yong and the others finally arrived at the door. 8 tickets, people behind me. Shi Yong said. Okay. The ticket inspector responded, then, he inadvertently raised his head and glanced at the tourists in front of him. When he saw them, the ticket inspector was suddenly stunned. He recognized that this was the person the Joker actor asked them to pay attention to before. Chapter 78 Personnel Exposed, Expert Team Takes Action. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 78, Personnel Exposed, Expert Team Takes Action. However, the ticket inspector is not a professional actor after all. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. When his expression was abnormal, Shi Yong, who was standing at the front, had already seen all this. Shi Yong only frowned slightly, then put on a smiling face and said with a smile. "Brother, buddy, check the tickets. We are very anxious to wait." The ticket inspector came to his senses instantly and responded with some guilt. "Oh, okay. Subsequently, the ticket passed. A group of 8 people entered the entrance and walked into the side hall. Shi Yong waved to others to gather over. Several other experts and police officers looked at each other and approached cautiously. Shi Yong lit a cigarette. "Don't move your eyes, control your expression, and just listen to me. There's something wrong with the guy at the ticket gate." As soon as this statement came out, the others were obviously stunned for a moment. Bai Su nodded slightly, and she had already noticed something strange about that man. "What's the problem?" Luo Ji slightly took off the toed glasses on his face. The lenses were too dark and he couldn't see anything just now. He was obviously spying on us and seemed to be tipping someone off. "I think this has something to do with Su Chen." Shi Yong did not look back at the ticket office, but stared at a shiny stainless steel teapot placed in front of him for pouring tea. In the reflection above, you can vaguely see the conductor talking to a few people, and looking towards them from time to time. Soon, the few people finished their conversation, then hurriedly turned around and got into the side hall. "Did Su Chen ask them to do this?" Caritas, who was wearing a shirt, held her chin and said unexpectedly. "I didn't expect that in just 1 or 2 hours, Su Chen had already established a certain relationship in the circus. This kind of communication ability is terrifying." "Sure, what do you think will happen after the information is leaked?" Luo Ji asked. "Have no idea." Shi Yong shook his head, and then looked at the backs of the circus staff who left in a hurry. His eyes gradually darkened and he said to the others. "But we don't have to make blind guesses. Just grab a few shrimps and ask them. Then we'll understand." As he spoke, he turned on the walkie-talkie strapped to his waist and showed the channel to others. He signaled them to set the walkie-talkies hidden on their bodies to the same channel. "Let's work separately. I, Wang Yanxing, and Caritas are in one group. Brother Luo, you are in the same group as Officer Bai and Qin Ming." Shi Yong arranged the follow-up plan. "Let's change our clothes first so we don't get recognized easily." Then, the 2 groups of people each caught a small shrimp, and then interrogated separately, and then compared the clues obtained. "Ask a few more times and it's almost done." In order to ensure that the truth can be obtained from those who tipped off the information, they need to catch at least 2 people so that they can compare the information they gave and come up with a correct answer. In Su Chen's territory, the decision to group operations was not without risks. "I feel now that Su Chen must have laid a lot of traps in the circus, and now it feels like inviting you into a trap." Luo Ji handed his shirt to Shi Yong and scratched his hair. "Is it too dangerous for us to continue in? Or should we exit first and look for opportunities later? It's impossible to fight someone like Su Chen without taking risks, unless we do nothing." Shi Yong changed his clothes and separated the 2 teams. "This thing is just like the battlefield. You have to have a gambler's spirit. Otherwise, the battles I fought with the captain back then would most likely end up in the opponent's trap. Actually, it doesn't matter whether we can get into the urn or not. The key is whether we can make a big fuss in his urn. It's best to smash the urn to pieces. That means we have the upper hand. Let's chase him. Remember, we are hunters. If Su Chen sees us as prey, this may not be a bad thing." The barrage was also shaken by these remarks. Why do I feel that it makes sense? Shi Yong's idea is interesting. More than just interesting, many people died when hunting tigers in ancient times. When your prey is ferocious enough, if you don't pay attention, the identity of the hunter and the prey will be exchanged instantly. Yes, when a ferocious prey jumps into your trap, do you know whether it has really been caught, or is it luring you over? The expert team has manpower and firearms, and they also saw through one of Su Chen's schemes. The current situation is really hard to say. Circus side hall. As soon as Shi Yong said this, no one raised any objections. The original 8-member expert team immediately became 2 teams. In addition to the 3 experts, each team is also followed by a police officer. They spread out and Shi Yong pointed in 2 directions. He had met countless people and had some experience. He could tell that the informants running in the 2 directions were the most timid ones. This kind of person has poor psychological resistance to stress and is more likely to produce results during interrogation. Luo Ji and others nodded in understanding. When the order was issued, the 2 teams immediately started chasing the 2 people who had tipped off the information. At this moment, the 2 informants had also walked some distance away. It takes a while to catch up. This is not a problem. Because in the front hall just now, the expert team was even more difficult to do anything. It's better to let these 2 people run a little more remote and wait for an opportunity to act. It would be best to meet the mastermind of this matter and catch them all in one go. Behind the circus side hall, there is a narrow internal passage. Shi Yong and Shang Shanming walked quickly, avoiding other employees as they walked. Senior uncle, your ideas make me feel like my eyes are shining brightly. Yusuji Caritas walked and said. You also know that thinking is very important to a detective. He can often determine whether a case can be solved. Just speaking from experience. Shi Yong waved his hands, considered his words, and explained to the little girl detective in front of him. When I was a teenager and fighting in the country of Iu, wouldn't that position be covered by the firepower of the American army? Everyone knows that once on the battlefield, it is equivalent to entering the firepower circle of the American army. Is this big jar big enough? But didn't we also charge and win? Not only do you have to place a bet, but you also have to believe what our captain said at the time. You have to believe that you will not be hit by artillery fire. If you think like this, you can rush forward as hard as you can and do things that are impossible. We were all the same at that time. The sacrifice was tragic, but everyone felt that they could go home alive. Speaking of which, Shi Yong suddenly choked on his words, the muscles on his face trembled, and there were a few red blood streaks on his eyes. He took out the old military water bottle from his clothes and took a few more gulps. Afterwards, Shi Yong wiped his mouth, with a trace of confusion in his eyes, and sighed in a rare way. Damn, at first one person was better than the other, but in the end the whole team was not as tough as me. A bunch of people with parents and wives just stay in that place where birds don't shit. Chapter 79. Why are you in such a hurry? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 79. Why are you going in such a hurry? This sudden wait made Yusuji Caritas a little at a loss. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. When she was anxious, her already not very proficient Chinese became even more stumbling. No, I'm sorry, I mentioned the sadness of senior. This is not your problem, there is no need to apologize. Shi Yong waved his hand, interrupting the other party's attempt to bow. Girl, you are still young. Some things in the world are actually quite complicated, and not everything has results. From this point of view, I quite admire the courage of that boy Su Chen. He was able to solve those unsolved cases. This matter may not get an answer for the rest of his life, but he did it without saying a word. Yusuji Caritas nodded in agreement. Even she got on the list of detectives by solving modern cases. The old unsolved cases are just a bunch of fruitless mess in the mouths of the seniors in the police department. After touching it, there will be no good results. Any young man who wants to make a career as a detective is best left alone, otherwise. Su Chen is the best proof that a child prodigy who was once so dazzling has also wasted his great youth. That is a person who may create an era. In the history of detectives, however, with the start of the live broadcast of Chasing the Murderer, his time seems to be long overdue, but it has also arrived. Shi Yong and Yusuji Ming kept walking while talking. They turned a corner. I saw a hurried figure of a staff member in front of me. The heaviness on Shi Yong's face was swept away. His eyes instantly showed 2 cruel looks, and he whispered. Do it. After saying that, he rushed forward and already made a grabbing movement with his hands. Besides, the staff member who tipped off the information was already guilty and unsteady on his feet. Suddenly he felt a slight gust of wind behind him. He froze and turned his head, only to see Shi Yong rushing forward ferociously. The man was so frightened that he screamed. "Hey!" Then, as if there was a gust of wind under his feet, he ran forward desperately. He boasted that he worked in a circus, his body was quite flexible and he could run fast, and he could run far away in a blink of an eye. However, although the man chasing behind him was broad and strong, he was extremely flexible and could actually bite his back in a narrow passage. No matter how hard you try, you can't get rid of it. The person who tipped off the news was so frightened that his nose almost came out. At this moment, he only regretted that his parents had lost 2 legs. Shi Yong was also slightly surprised by the speed that this man burst out in fear. "I didn't expect this kid to be so timid and capable of running away." However, he has no chance. At the other end of the passage, 2 other people from Shi Yong's team, Wang Yanqing and a police officer, appeared. The 2 people walked in tandem, directly sandwiching Xiao Xiumi in the middle. When the man saw this, his legs softened and he lay on the ground, losing the intention of running away. Shi Yong, Qin Ming, Yusuji Mingai and others were not in a hurry and walked over slowly. A kind smile appeared on his face. Every time they took a step closer, the shadow in the heart of the man lying on the ground became a little heavier. He knew that 4 members of the expert team were standing in front of him. "Tell me about it." Shi Yong knelt down and looked at him levelly. "Why are you in such a hurry?" I need to go to the toilet. I'm in a hurry." The little brother was so frightened that he trembled when he spoke, and made up a very bad lie. "Go to the bathroom." Shi Yong raised his eyebrows. "What do you mean by running away when you see us in the toilet? We won't let you go, right?" The little shrimp shriveled instantly. "Brother, I am the one who informed you." Hear the words. The 4 people on the panel immediately laughed. For a time, the staff passage was filled with a happy atmosphere. It would have saved you trouble if you had said so earlier. Shi Yong took out the walkie-talkie from his waist and said to the other end. 2 teams, I'm in 1 team. We've got it done here, what about you?" Soon, Luo Ji's voice came from the other end of the intercom. "The 2nd team has received it, we have finished it, and the interrogation has begun." "Okay." Shi Yong released the dialogue button, looked up at the little brother in front of him, and said calmly. "Don't worry, you are not alone. Your brothers are all in good order, and none of them can escape." "Say it." The little brother who tipped off the news shivered when Shi Yong looked at him. "Say, what did you say?" "Don't act stupid." Shi Yong suddenly raised his voice and pressed the opponent's shoulder with one hand. "You know what I'm asking. Let me remind you that your brothers are also recording confessions. If you lie and let others confess, you will be serious. Do you understand?" Yes, I say everything." How can an ordinary circus worker withstand the intimidation of a veteran like Shi Yong? His mouth was like an open faucet, pouring out everything that happened during this period, including how he was entrusted to keep an eye on Shi Yong and others, and how he was informed. "Even when I was 8 years old, I peeped at my neighbor's bath and told him in detail." The plot is ups and downs and fascinating, thought-provoking and imaginative. It expresses the brothers' contradictory psychology and desire when doing bad things. There is only one thing, that is, he was also commissioned by the actors in the circus. As for who the initiator of this order is, he doesn't know. Hearing this, Shi Yong tsk. "I know that with Su Chen's caution, he will definitely not be completely confident in these people, and will definitely pass the information in stages." The last question. Yusuji Aya gave the circus brother a thumbs up and said seriously. "I ask you, how many people in your circus know about this? How many people are specifically watching us? Who are they?" When this question was asked, all the experts pricked up their ears, because this question is equivalent to asking about Su Chen's personnel deployment and arrangements. As long as they know the general situation, they can find the dark place that Su Chen can't see, and hide in it, slowly brew, and then launch a lightning pursuit of Su Chen. However, to everyone's surprise, the brother was silent for a few seconds after hearing this, then, he stammered. Here, almost. Everyone, that expert team. Chapter 80. How did he do it? Shi Yong's reasoning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 80. How did he do it? Shi Yong's reasoning. Everyone. When these words came out, the people in the expert group almost thought they had heard wrongly. Although it was a simulated crime and a variety show, they also felt a tingling sensation on their backs, and the barrage also reached a peak at this time. Oh my God, this reminds me of a novel. It seems that everyone is a monster in human skin, and there is only one real person among 10,000 people. Chen, I didn't expect it, surprised or not, ahaha. Fuck, I just put myself in the situation of the expert group, and I really got goosebumps. Chen is simply a born criminal. Fortunately he is in the public security system and has not gone astray. Now, what should the expert group do? In the circus staff passage, Shi Yong immediately walked aside and contacted Luo Ji with the intercom to check the results of the interrogation with him, because Bai Su was in Luo Ji's team, he could judge whether the other party was lying. A few minutes later, he put down the walkie-talkie, then he rushed to the circus boy and shouted. Nonsense, are you kidding me? The result of the questioning of your brother was not like this. Tell me honestly, how many people are there? It's unfair, big brother, that the circus boy was so scared that his legs were shaking, and he cried. It's really everyone. Anyway, people I know and people I don't know basically know about this. That the fat on Shi Yong's face relaxed, because just now, he just wanted to trick the boy to see if he was lying. In fact, the interrogation result of Luo Ji's side was that almost everyone in the circus was Su Chen's spy. This result was too unexpected. They knew that this was Su Chen's den of thieves, but they didn't expect that there were so many thieves in this den of thieves. The situation seemed to be reversed all of a sudden. After several experts discussed it, the interrogation ended, and they all turned to the boy. Then, everyone smiled in a friendly manner. I've said everything. That the young man was frightened, thinking that something had happened again. He was already in tears and snot. It's okay, buddy, I'm sorry for what happened just now. Shi Yong smiled and pulled him up from the ground, then showed the young man his expert identification card. Brother, have you seen the live broadcast of the murderer? We are the expert group. You were in a variety show just now. That the wailing of the circus young man stopped instantly. He stared blankly at the four experts in front of him. He was busy running away before and didn't have time to look carefully. Now, the more he looks, the more familiar they look. You are Shi Yong, Shangshan Mingai, Wang Yanqing, and, police comrades, expert team police. This police officer's surname is Zhao Long. Shi Yong patted the policeman on the shoulder and smiled at the circus boy. Brother, I didn't scare you, don't worry, you are fine, there will be a small gift after the show. The circus boy's grievance disappeared instantly. He went up one by one to ask for autographs. He held a signed book filled with signatures in his hand, tears welling up in his eyes. Thank you TV, thank you all TV, I thank the expert brother for interrogating me and giving me this opportunity to be on TV. I am so excited now, especially excited. I have been in the circus for so many years, and this is the first time I have become the protagonist of a show. Oh, speaking of circus. Suddenly, the young man changed the subject. Dear audience, where is the best circus in Longhua? Come to Jinling Cirque du Soleil. We have a professional acrobatic team, a comfortable environment, and more than a dozen beautiful women to accompany you through a wonderful night. This caught the GG off guard and silenced the expert panel. If he is not given one of the top 10 employees of the circus, it would be a shame for his professionalism. Shi Yong went up and held the young man down. Brother, you are not kind enough to use public resources to give you a GG, young man. Dear audience, in addition to the circus, we have also contracted the etiquette activities of the Platinum City Chess Academy. There, our chief beauty will serve as the etiquette girl to add color to the entire event. Don't miss it. Shut up, Shi Yong covered the young man's mouth with a big hand and stopped him from talking. The barrage burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, this young man is so funny. Could it be that he gets a commission for giving a GG? He works so hard. Apart from anything else, this variety show focuses on reality. If it were any other reality show with a script, it would never come up with such a plot. This is the only variety show that can let ordinary people appear. The others are all celebrities who are used to the camera. This guy's reaction to the camera and experts is a true portrayal of most of us. Speaking of when to switch the camera, I want to see what my husband is doing. The one above, don't just drink, take some cephalosporin. In the circus, seeing the brothers' behavior, several experts besides Shi Yong also lowered their heads and laughed. In fact, since the live broadcast of the murderer was filmed here, the circus has already become popular, and there is no need to promote it at all. Okay, let's discuss how to capture Chen. Yusuji Mingai covered her mouth and smiled. Get back to the topic quickly. That as soon as he heard that Chen was arrested, the little brother became excited again. What he wants to do most in his life is to catch Chen, the younger brother said to Shi Yong. Brother, are you okay with me? How about I go undercover for you? Let's work together inside and outside to capture Chen. Come on. Shi Yong let him go and said with certainty. You can't. Why not? You won't pretend to be confused. With your acting skills and psychological quality, you just have to say, I am an undercover, written on your face. Chen is not stupid. Hey. The little brother lowered his head and said. As expected of brother Shi Yong, he has a really accurate vision. From the day I was born, people have pointed at me and said that the biggest shortcoming of this child in the future is that he will not be able to pretend to be confused. Brother, do you think I can still change it? Shi Yong waved his hand. You can't change it, you're born with it. Other experts, are you two acting here? Okay, let's talk about the current situation. After the little brother was kidnapped by the men in black from the program crew, Shi Yong's expression returned to seriousness. The situation has changed a bit now. I didn't expect Chen to move so quickly in the circus. I'm afraid we have to change our strategy. This road is dead. Other experts nodded. If the entire circus is full of Chen's people, it means that their every move may be monitored, and among them, there are several layers of relationships, from top to bottom. Our current situation is quite urgent. It is best to use the least amount of processes to achieve the most obvious results. If we cannot do this, we will lose. Yusuji Caritas said seriously. But it's difficult. Chen is in the dark, and we are basically in the light. It's not like there's nothing we can do. Shi Yong took over the conversation and reminded. Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about how Chen managed to get so mixed up in the circus in such a short period of time? As soon as these words came out, Shanshan Caritas and others fell into thinking, you're right, the biggest doubt now is not where Chen is hiding, but how did he do it? How could he make the entire circus listen to him? The secret here is the hint that hits home. There are only 3 things I can think of. Shi Yong stretched out 3 fingers. 1, it's money. 2, it's power. 3, it's sex. These things all point to the most basic principles and are also powerful tools that can win over people in a short period of time. It's unlikely that Chen will have money. Yusuji Mingai said, she had seen the video of Chen before his identity was exposed. Chen did not make money and had been messing around in the police station. She was certain that the money in Chen's pocket would not exceed 3,000 yuan. It could be Quan, for example, pretending to be a circus ringmaster. Shi Yong heard this and nodded. This is very possible, so we need to have a beheading team to go directly to the leader to figure things out. Then, he changed the subject. However, there is another guess that seems more nonsense, and that is sex.